What's up guys, Jake here. So in February all kinds of weird and crazy things happened around gaming, such as PS5 selling over $20,000 on eBay, the US want to ban GTA 5 and CD Projekt Red got hacked. In other words, much to discuss, so sit back, get your favorite beverage and make sure to watch the damn whole video so you don't miss anything. Let's go! So, starting with number 7, we have Steam banning a developer who used a misleading name to trick users to buy his game. So if you've ever used the Steam store, then you're probably familiar with this gaming page. You know, the one with key information about a game, such as the user ratings. And as you can see here, the ratings in this case saying very positive are closely positioned to the developer's name, in this case saying Respawn Entertainment. But wait! I have an idea. Why not giving my gaming company a name that is similar, no, exactly the same as these ratings? Something like very positive. So now, when an unsuspecting user lands on my gaming page and doesn't pay attention, he will think my game has good ratings and will buy it. This is exactly what a developer decided to do to drive sales for the puzzle game he created, called Emoji Evolution. And Steam was not amused about this. So the developer got banned from the store, of course, for review manipulation. And he was quickly to respond that he didn't agree with Steam. Well, buddy, then you probably needed to work more on your naming evolution. So, at number 6, we have a history professor at the University of Tennessee in Knoxville using the Red Dead Redemption series during his syllabus to teach students the history of America between 1899 and 1911. This is basically the period in which both Red Dead games take place. So this guy is so serious about it that he created a course named Red Dead America and will be using the course to explore historical issues in the USA such as the frontier mythology and its long afterlife, whatever that means, and expansion of monopoly capitalism and how railroad extended corporate power. So it's nice to see that video games are also being used for educational purposes. That is for specific well-crafted video games, because, you know, I'm not too sure what intellectual takeaways a game such as Mortal Kombat provides. Maybe the human anatomy?
Fatality.
This is actually not the first time that a game is being used for educational purposes, as Ubisoft did release a while back its Discovery Tours for Assassin's Creed Origins and Odyssey, whereby you can learn more about historical events via the interactive tours. You know what? I'm all for it, using games as a new way, or relatively new way, of teaching students. Because frankly, not everybody likes reading thousands of pages in order to understand a particular subject. So the possibilities are endless, guys. Who knows, maybe someday we'll use Larry's game Wet Dreams Don't Dry in order to educate people about intimate relationships. At number 5, we have another game from Rockstar, GTA 5. So a US lawmaker wants to ban GTA 5 due to a rise of carjackings in Chicago, Illinois.
What?
Yep. The state representative Marcus Evans Jr. proposed a bill that would ban selling GTA 5 and other violent video games. The representative wants to amend an existing law that prevents that certain video games are being sold to minors. The proposed amendments would ban video games that could cause psychological harm, such as motor vehicle theft with a driver or passenger present. Evans himself said that the bill would prohibit the sale of some of these games that promote the activities that we are suffering from in our communities. And another individual called Early Walker, who was actually the one suggesting banning GTA altogether, he said, "I feel like this game has become a huge issue in the spectrum. When you compare the two, you see harsh similarities as it relates to these carjackings." What a load of horse shit. What is it with people that if anything bad happens, like when kids are having anger issues, or if there is a high crime rate, or when somebody's dog just died, that they blame it on the video games? Has it ever occurred to you that maybe, just maybe, these carjackings in Chicago could have also been caused by the fact that the state of Illinois has one of the highest unemployment rates in the US? You know how it goes, people don't have any jobs, don't have any money, and start to steal some shit, including your fancy dancy Pegasi and the Booga-Fahrzeug, and combine this fact with the whole pandemic situation that is going on, and voila, un recipe for disaster. Sorry for my European friends there. America. I think you're great. Sometimes. But you have lost your mind. What are you going to do next? Ban racing games because people are speeding? Come on, man. You're better than that. Right? Number 4 brings us to a popular YouTuber called ZJC. What a name. But who am I to judge? My channel's name is Sweet Potato Fries. Anyhow, Mr. Z, let's call him Mr. Z. He spent $70,000 to build a 10 feet tall PlayStation 5. So at first I thought it was just, a non-functional sculpture kind of thing. But it turns out it actually works. It even has a functional controller and everything, and the PlayStation 5 weighs a whopping 500 quarter-pounders. And according to the YouTuber, it took about 4 months to build. The oversized console was used for his YouTube video whereby Mr. Z challenged his team to spend 100 hours customizing the console, whereby the winning team would get a PS5 each, and the remaining batch would go to the children in need. But why not giving $70,000 directly to the children in need? Well, that wouldn't generate 13 million views now, would it? I'm not hating on the guy or anything, I think it's a cool project and I'm quite impressed that it actually worked. But while the average Joe is desperately trying to get his hands on a PS5, for a reasonable price that is, then this dude comes along and says, why not throwing 70k at making a PS5 and give one to each team member while I'm at it? But again, it's kind of cool, I'm not gonna lie. It actually reminds me of a marketing stunt by Microsoft back in October, when they revealed a functional Xbox Series X fridge as a response to the hilarious internet memes. But you know what? I'm a simple guy. I don't need a 10 feet PS5, I don't need a fridge, I just need a PS5 that is in stock. Talking about the PS5, at number 3 we have scalpers selling their PS5 for over $20,000 on eBay. Yep, you heard it right. So at first when I saw this, I was a bit skeptical, right? I thought this can't be serious, probably a bunch of trolls with fake eBay accounts they created 2 days ago, and people are not actually interested in these scamming advertisements, right? Wrong. It turns out that these are serious sellers. The ones that have been trading on eBay forever with hundreds of 5-star ratings and whatnot. And with dozens of eBay watchers or potential buyers on these advertisements, people are actually interested. So it seems anyway. The funny thing is that these sellers are actually trying to justify the ridiculously high price of these consoles. One is asking $25,000 to pay off his student loans, and another one is asking $20,000 because he is a recently unemployed single father hoping for a damn miracle. This is really getting out of hand if you ask me. It's one thing that PS5s are out of stock and being sold on eBay for the more typical $800 to $900, but it's a whole other level of douchebagness when trying to rip people off by asking over $20,000 for a console. It's ludicrous. So number 2 is Netflix and entertainment company MGM competing against each other. Since both companies have announced this month that they are going to make competing movies about the very recent GameStop incident. So in case you haven't heard about the GameStop saga, which I think is highly unlikely, basically a bunch of Reddit users have banded together to buy a lot, like a lot, of GameStop shares. This led to the stock price increasing by over 2,000% in just 2 weeks. So what happened then was that very big hedge fund investors who expected to make a lot of money when the share price would drop actually lost billions of dollars because their share price rose. So some investors are even so mad that they have filed a lawsuit against one of the key players who allegedly drove the GameStop price to the stratosphere. And he goes by the name of Keith Gill, aka Roaring Kitty on YouTube. But fear not, because there is hope for GameStop. One of its board members, Ryan Cohen, posted a cryptic tweet of an ice cream picture with a frog emoji. And just moments after, the company's stock went from $50 where it's been holding for the most majority of the time, up to $90. We all need a Ryan in our lives. So Netflix and MGM's announcement this month was quite surprising because the GameStop debacle just happened a few weeks ago and already Netflix and MGM are all over it and have taken the first steps to a movie adaptation. Normally these kinds of movies will get announced or released months, even years after the fact. But no, this story is so on fire that you better can strike while the iron is hot. And finally, at number 1, we got CD Projekt Red got hacked. So if you haven't heard already, Cyberpunk 2077 developer CDPR got hacked earlier this month. If a terrible launch of Cyberpunk and the lawsuits wasn't enough, right? Well, apparently not. Because on February the 9th, CDPR announced on their Twitter account that they've fallen victim of a ransom attack. The attackers have stolen the source code of Cyberpunk 2077, The Witcher 3 and an unreleased version of The Witcher. At least the hackers had the courtesy to leave a kind note on the service to let CDPR know that they have been breached. How kind. The hackers closed the note by saying that CDPR has 84 hours to contact them, and failing to do so will result in the stolen source code to be sold online. CDPR then put a statement out after the attack, basically saying that they won't negotiate with the hackers and they accept the data might be leaked by these perpetrators if CDPR doesn't comply. Following their message on Twitter, CDPR saw a massive drop in the stock prices, which is still dropping unfortunately. A day after the attack, the hackers put all the data for auction, and multiple resources basically say that CDPR was hacked by the hacker group named Hello Kitty. The hack had such a major impact on CDPR that they have even postponed the new Cyberpunk patch that was initially planned to launch in February. Although I have to say that a new patch would have been nice to fix, all the bugs and glitches, but it only makes sense that they've decided to delay this and focus on recovering from the hack and also avoid further crunches on developers. This is all pretty tough for CDPR to be honest, and I start to feel a little bit bad for them, especially for the developers who worked their asses off and there's nothing to show for it, apart from bad publicity, multiple lawsuits, and the most unfortunate of it all, disappointed gamers who are beginning to lose trust in CDPR, if they haven't done so already. So let's just hope when the proper next-gen console versions of Cyberpunk get released, they run smooth like butter and smell like lilac and gooseberries. So guys, what do you think of this month's crazy gaming stories? I thought CDPR getting hacked was quite a news to say the least, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe, because if you do, you will smell like lilac and gooseberries.